Hey, thanks for tuning in. Today I sat down with Alistair with Mullet and Muscle. He is a personal trainer full-time online and in person, has a wonderful story of how he started the gym, how he grew up, and what kind of degree he got and how it has helped him today. So make sure you listen to the whole thing so you can get all the good news. Giving a special shout out to our sponsor, Maximus Nutrition. If you are looking to boost your workout, whether that be, toning up or adding in that bulk, they can help you out with all the shakes, all the creatine, and all the protein, and so much more. You can find them over on Sunset Drive and Knickerbocker. Be sure to hit them up. Hello. Welcome back to Everything and the Gym. Today, I am sitting down with somebody I've actually been fishing for since season 2. I asked this person a long time, but before we get into that, I have to give a shout out to our sponsors. So thank you, Maximus and Crusaders Forge and Training from the Ground Up for sponsoring this episode. Now, what is your name?
Alastair Dillon.
All right. And how old are you?
I just turned 29 in February.
You're not old.
Yeah, well, I feel it. No. I feel it.
When you said you were old earlier, I was like, okay, 30s, maybe a little mid-30s.
29.
When's your birthday?
February 7th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm a newbie 29.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Do you need a walker yet?
Feels like I do. I need a cane, a pimp cane.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you currently do?
Full-time personal trainer.
All right. So let's rewind the clock back then. What was growing up like for you?
Well, I was born and raised in Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it was different, definitely a different culture. The whole vibe there was completely different than Texas in general. But whenever we would go to school, it was an all black school. So it was completely different than what you would normally see me in general, in general. So my neighborhood was actually it was rough. I wasn't even allowed outside my house because there were drugs on the corner and things like that. Across the street, dog fights, stuff like that kind of thing. So I wasn't allowed even outside of my house most of the time. So that's why a lot of the times I just spent the weekend or the weeks in my granny and papa's house. And that was 30-minute drive away from where we were living. So most of the time I just stayed with them a lot. And we would just go in the woods, just climb in the woods and just do a bunch of outdoor activities, so nature. And then, in 2007, we moved to Texas, and going from listening to boom, boom, boom in the middle of the night, I could sleep normal with that, going to hearing crickets at night scared the living crap out of me. It was different. It was completely different. We lived in I think the first year of living in Texas, we literally lived in a farmhouse in the middle of a cornfield. So it was just weird. It was just a weird vibe. Very, very quiet. But then whenever anything was loud, it would still scare me, but it was just different. Then we moved into a neighborhood called Cordova Loop. And that literally is a mile and a half from stop sign to stop sign, just a bunch of houses. And that's where I met most of my friends that I still have to this day.
Here in San Angelo?
And that's in Seguin.
Okay.
Yeah, so Seguin, Texas. I moved to San Angelo in 2017. I want to say 2017. And that was because my wife, then girlfriend, now wife, she convinced me to go to ASU because I was getting my degree at Texas Lutheran University. And I took a year off. And that's when I met her. I actually met her in the gym. So that was pretty cool. And then she went to ASU before dropping out and living with her dad in New Braunfels. And she went to ASU. She was playing rugby here. So she told me all about ASU, how cool San Angelo is, how fun it is, and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I need to go back into school. I need to get my degree and things like that. So kind of convinced me to go to ASU. And I've been here since then. I went everything from my very first job here in San Angelo was CC's. I went from CC's making like $300 a month kind of thing. Couldn't pay rent.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I survived. I had like $1.27 in my name kind of thing. So I was broke.
Yeah.
Like broke college kid. That was me. Went from that to actually working at Maximus. And I was working at Maximus for about 6 years or so. And then I went on and off. Anything from like Home Depot, doing construction. I opened up Crunch.
Yeah.
I was at AGM at Crunch for a while. And then left that to do construction, actually. And then, yeah, went back to Maximus. And then now personal training full time. So
That's where I met you. It was when you opened up Crunch.
yeah.
Yeah. That was 4 years. Yeah. 4 years ago.
2021.
Yeah. Man. Okay. So what did you go to college for?
Kinesiology. Yeah.
Okay.
I majored in kinesiology and then minored in psychology. So
Was that a difficult degree to get?
not really. People think it's harder than it is. The hardest classes are usually like anatomy and physiology. You know what I mean? Like if you can get that down, you can get everything else down. And that and physical activity. I've done physical activity since a kid. So I was going through the woods and stuff like that. And just in general, it was exercise to me, but I didn't think of it as exercise.
Yeah.
You know, but I loved it. Love it.
Did you play sports growing up?
Technically, I wasn't really allowed to play sports. My dad always thought I would like get injured and stuff like that. And then, of course, once I started playing sports, I got injured.
Yeah.
So I was actually playing football my 10th grade year, and I ended up injuring my knee. So I dislocated my knee, popped it back in all at once. And yeah, I was out for the rest of the season. But yeah. That was the only time that I played like a team sport and then basketball for a little bit. Most of the time I just ran track and then worked out. Yeah. Track every year.
So did you learn how to lift weights whenever you were in track?
Yes and no. Most of the time I would just go in there and lift weights. Like, like I knew what to do. I just didn't know how to do it kind of thing. So I would just do.
Yeah.
You know, I knew you could do bicep curls, chest. My favorite exercise was squats, right? So I love squats. I was actually taught as a really, really young kid, whenever my dad was like raising us, he taught me how to lift rocks.
Really?
Literally. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So I have 3 brothers, and my dad taught my oldest brother to be a good leader. And then he taught my older brother just to be like really book smart. And then my youngest brother taught him how to be like tech savvy. He goes, I taught you how to lift shit.
Oh.
I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Did all of your brothers go into fields like based off of those kind of like scenarios?
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
Like my oldest brother, he's a firefighter down in Corpus. He started out as an athletic trainer. He graduated from Texas Lutheran University as an athletic trainer, and he was a head athletic trainer for some school down in Corpus. Him and his wife. Now he's a firefighter EMT in Corpus. Older brother, he actually works for my dad, but he's so smart. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so jealous. I'm envy of it, but he's super, super smart. And then my youngest brother, he actually, he works for this company that does like trash for apartments. So you're just valet for trash at these apartments, but he gets paid really, really well doing it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Do you still talk to your family?
Yeah, for the most part. I have a group chat with my brothers and my dad, and then I have another group chat with my mom and my brother. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when did like working out become like, okay, like this is a staple for me? When did that happen?
After I graduated high school, I went on like a summer bender where I didn't really do anything, and I got kind of chunky. And I was like, you know what? I got to do something because this does not feel good. So I was pretty hefty, and like fat percentage wise, I was pushing like 30, 33. You know, for me, that's a lot because I used to be really, really like tiny in high school. Not so much tiny. I was just really, really lean because I would run all the time, you know, run and just lift weights. But then I stopped and I would just like drink. So I was like, you know what? I got to do something different. And that's whenever I got back into the gym, and I did everything from training with the world's strongest man competitor. That shit was crazy, super, super strong. He got my bench press from like a 185 to 315 kind of thing. So it was crazy working out with him, doing everything. Did that. That's when I started, was like actually training with him. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, that was a good time.
Do you still... So like that was your first like intense type bring up in the gym, do you still go back to like times from there? Like, do you still utilize the things you learned?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he actually taught me how to bench press properly. And then going from that to like powerlifting and stuff like that, it's completely different. But you still get that sense of, you know what you're doing and how to do it. You just got to tweak it, you know? So for that, it was huge because we did everything from lifting stones, right? Like the Atlas stones. And that helps with like deadlift and keeping your core tight and this and that. Like, it's just everything that I learned from then helps me now too. Yeah. But now I just know more. Yeah. You know, but it starts with that. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think your kinesiology degree helps you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. In what ways?
Everything. For me, more so, it helps me teach other people. You know what I mean? So I learned by teaching, and that's another good way of me helping other people is like, how can I teach you to do this lift properly? Because that helps me. Yeah. You know, so that's kind of what I would do. But yeah, kinesiology, I believe it definitely helped me out a lot, you know, and then minor in psychology, it's mental over physical any day. Absolutely. If you're not mentally there, physically, you won't be there 100%. You'll be there 80, but you won't be there 100. Yeah. That's why the mental aspect, it's huge.
Okay, so do you, whenever you're coaching your clients, are you talking the mental with them too?
For the most part. Yeah. Yeah. Because a lot of the time, like, they'll want to stop at 10. They'll want to stop at 8. If there's 10 reps, they want to stop at 8 or 9. I'm like, the hell? No. Yeah. No, push through. No, you got more. You got more. So that's a huge, like, mental part for them is like, they want to stop. They want to stop. I don't let them. Yeah. You know, I make sure that they know, like, hey, this is going to help you because you're going to push through this. Then you're going to do the next exercise. Then you're going to do the next exercise. You're not going to stop. You got this every single time.
Have you had a good, like, as a trainer, have you had a good handful of people that have, like, stayed with you for a long period?
Majority of my clients. Yeah. Yeah. I've had a few, of course, drop off here and there, sometimes financial reasons, sometimes family issues or whatever it may be. But for the most part, majority of my clients, I've had almost a year or so, if not all, like the entire time. In fact, my very first client, his name's Trevor, and I still have him to this day. And that was 2.5 years ago.
That's awesome. Have you learned things along the way with having this many people? Yeah.
Yes. There's so many different aspects of training and so many different aspects of people. Like, you could have anybody trying to lose weight, gain muscle, this, that, the other, and it's just insane. Like, there's so much to learn about each individual person, what works and what doesn't, you know? So you have to find out, like, what works for this person, what works for this person, what works for this person, and then see if it works for this person, you know? So you play with it every single time, and it's huge.
Do you take any of that and reflect it inwardly?
Like, for myself, yeah. Oh, always. Yeah. And I always ask myself, too, is like, I have some clients that have joint issues. So one of my biggest things is like mobility. And I was able to get my whole mobility from nothing, where I was just stiff as a brick. I was like, and now I'm able to, like, actually move. I mean, do the wave and stuff, you know, just dance around, whatever. Yeah. But it's like, it's helping other clients help me. Yeah.
Okay, so what does a day-to-day look like for you?
Depends on the day, but I either wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning. On the days I wake up at 3, I usually have my first client at 4 a.m. But before any of that, obviously I wake up, I get dressed, things like that. I always I have to get an energy drink every day. So that's my addiction is caffeine. I love it, but I only do 2 a day. Yeah. So, right. Yeah. So that's the first thing I do. I always make sure that I have that, because without energy, I mean, clients can come in all they want, but if I don't have that same upbeat energy all day long, they're not going to want to come in, you know, because they come in to get that energy too. Yeah. They expect you to be there 100% for them, which I do. So whenever I start my day, whether it's at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, I start them at 4. I usually, my last client's until like 11 or so in the morning. I have a little bit of a break. That's when I go home. I get to see my wife before she goes to work. I usually try to eat something, maybe take like a 12-minute nap, 12 to 15-minute nap, nothing more than that. Because if not, I'll just grumpy, super grumpy. I go to the workout myself, and I usually go to TrueFit to myself. That way, whenever I go there, I just use a turf. Literally, I just do my kettlebell workouts, which is my go-to, especially if I'm short on time. I do kettlebell training free weight training, stuff like that. I'm not a really huge fan of machines, but it does help sometimes. I just do kettlebell stuff.
Yeah.
And then I go back to training anywhere from 4 to like 6 or 7. So.
And then you have online clients too.
Yeah, remote training. Yeah. So remote training, I do that usually on the weekends. I always message them either on Friday or Saturday, see how the week went, or during the week, I'll be like, hey, I noticed you didn't go to the gym in a couple of days. Like, what's been up? You okay? Whatever it may be. And then I usually do the remote on Saturday, Sundays, and I just make sure like, hey, got you set up. Any tweaks, anything you want to do for this next week specifically? Hey, you want to work on this? You want to do this? I'm huge for communication, right?
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing, especially continuing to keep those clients is communication. Yeah. So I try to communicate very, very well with my clients, whether they're remote or in person.
Do you write things down as far as like remembering what you need to ask your clients?
Yes and no. Yes, because some of the training that I do for some of my clients, especially remote, is like very specific. So one wants to do like powerlifting movements or just strength training movements. And then I have a couple that are just like, hey, I just want to be mobile. Right. So I'll write down things and stuff that I want to ask them or like tweak and stuff like that. But also, like I said, I just ask them.
Yeah.
Like if you ask somebody, they're usually going to tell you, hey, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I really like this. I didn't like this. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing. Communication with my clients on remote has been completely different than like in person even. So it's huge. Communication is huge.
Has it taken you a long time to figure out that kind of communication?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Whenever I first started, I had no idea like how different or challenging it was going to be. There was even a couple months where I didn't have any clients on my remote, right? And those couple months where I was like, shit, what do I got to do to change this? How can I get more clients, right? So then I'm like, okay, well, I have a couple of my buddies that I do for free training, and it's just to make sure like they're moving too. So I'm like, hey, what is there something that I got to change to make this better for y'all? And they're like, well, honestly, yeah, I would like this, this, and this. I was like, oh, okay, well, let me do that. And then I get a couple clients that are new, and then they're like, oh shit. This is working. Yeah. This is huge. This is awesome. I love what you're doing. Thank you. This, that, the other. Like, I love it. Yeah.
Okay. So how do people find you for remote training?
Usually Instagram. Most of the time it's either that or word of mouth. Like I have a couple clients that have been training with me remotely for about 6 months to a year. You know, usually it lasts a little bit over a year. Like I said, my buddies too, but word of mouth most of the time for remote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's kind of hop into you as like nutrition.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have your nutrition dialed in right now?
No.
No.
Like, I'm just being real.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I don't.
Do you have like any kind of parameters? Like, are you trying to hit a certain number of protein?
Yeah. So I'm aware of what I'm eating. And this is also what I tell my clients too, because living a stressful life already and then being stressed about your diet is just going to add more stress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So having that much stress on your body already is going to be a lot just mentally. So then, I got to hit my protein goal. I have to hit my carb goal. I have to hit my fat goal. I get it. I understand. If you want those set goals, absolutely, yes, hit those goals and you will succeed fast, right? You'll get there quicker. Now, the thing is too, is like you also got to know, your life could be taken in a day. It could be taken any instant. So you also got to make sure you enjoy your food. You enjoy these things. You can't just live stressful all the time. It's not good on your body, one. But I enjoy having good food anywhere I go, right? Now, granted, when it comes to protein is the most important goal that I hit. So anywhere from 200 to 220 grams of protein a day. I know for sure that I make sure that I hit that every single day. If I can hit that every single day, that's going to help me with my recovery. It's going to help me with my strength. It's going to help me with my muscle. Feel good, look good, all of it, right? Now, carbs, that's a different story. I love carbs. I love carbs.
Who doesn't?
Exactly. I love carbs. Fats is something that I got to tone in a little bit more, but I love peanut butter. So it's like,
I have to admit that I buy the low fat one so I can eat more peanut butter. But like the tiny, like not tiny, but like the small tubs.
The big tubs, yeah.
Yeah, so they've got like the big ones, but they've got the small ones. I go through like a small one in a week.
I go through the big ones in a couple days. Like
Oh,
my
you
wife
got me
actually
beat.
caught me one time. I literally had a tub of peanut butter next to my bed and a spoon, and I'm like, oh no. So I was eating peanut butter in bed. I was like, let's not do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did it again.
So good. My daughter, I like to microwave my peanut butter.
Ooh,
Melted a little bit for like bananas.
Ooh,
and she was
yeah.
like, "You're so weird." And I'm like, "No, it's so
Try
good."
it. Try it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Okay. So are you taking any kind of like supplements or anything to aid in recovery or muscle growth?
Creatine. Yeah, creatine is one of the most scientifically proven supplements that work. So that's one of the few things that I take. I do take a little pickle shot. They're electrolyte pickle shots.
Oh.
Yeah, that just help with electrolytes in general, like first thing right off the bat.
Yeah.
I like pickles, so I love the taste of pickles. It's weird, I know, but especially first thing in the morning, just get that, hydrate a little bit. Aminos. Anywhere from, your regular basic aminos that you could get from like Walmart, you could go to Maximus, you could go anywhere really, but aminos, creatine. I don't do a protein powder as much as I know I should. I usually do like a Fairlife 30-gram protein one. That chocolate milk is so good. So good. But outside of that, I really don't take any other supplements. Yeah. I usually get most of my calories from my food, things like that. Energy drinks, I guess that would be the other thing. Just 2 a day, just 2, I swear.
Are you a pre-workout person?
Yes and no. Yeah, it just depends on the day. Like sometimes I do too much caffeine too early, so then I don't do any more after. So middle of the day, that's usually when I work out. So anywhere from 100 milligram caffeine to 200 milligram caffeine. I try not to go anywhere over 2 to 250. And that's just because caffeine a lot, like it could affect you. Obviously, I know it can, especially me with my heart. It's just kind of too much, too fast beat, and I'm just like, all right, maybe I gotta chill. But for the most part, I don't usually do a pre-workout, and if I do, it's one of those dragging days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you take any kind of like vitamins or anything like that?
I do. What is this? I don't even know the name of it. My wife usually gets it. She's just like, here, take this. I'm like, all right, take it. Yeah. So exactly.
Yeah.
So she usually has like a little gummy vitamins. I try to get most of my stuff from food. You know what I mean? That's what most of my stuff is from. Food.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to rewind just a second. You wake up so early. What time do you go to bed?
No, not early enough.
Yeah.
Well, my wife usually gets off around 9 o'clock. She's a tattoo artist in town.
Yeah.
So over at True Farm Bros. But no, she usually gets off at 9, so I just want to make sure that I can have dinner with her. After a long day, like that's what I want. So it's like I'll make sure that I stay up for her. And sometimes she'll get off a little early, but I usually cook us a dinner, steaks usually, and we just watch we've been on this one TV show, Girl from Nowhere. Crazy. It's on Netflix. Try it out. But yeah, we've been usually just watching like an episode of that and then go to bed. So 10:30.
Okay, that's not terrible.
Yeah, not too bad.
I feel like it's worth it if you get to hang out with your wife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love her. But it's just fun. It's just fun hanging out with her and stuff like that. So that, and then of course, after a long day, you just get to like hang out with your wife. It's chill.
Yeah. Okay, so besides the gym, do you have any other hobbies?
I'm learning about hobbies. Like I really just work out, and this is the sad thing, but that's kind of all I do. For my birthday, I actually got a bike, like a little bicycle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I've been cruising.
Is it like 3 wheels? Like
no.
Just kidding.
Yeah, a little tricycle. I wish. No. I got a little cruiser. I actually got that from Jake Madrid, other tattoo artist over at True Farm. But I got the bike, so I've been biking a lot, and then I also do the KOA. So it's still physical activity, but it's not like in the gym.
Yeah.
I've like I said, I've always been outside. I am big time on the outside kind of thing, nature.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. I don't think I've asked anybody this season, but what kind of music do you listen to when you work out?
Gosh. Okay. Anything. And when I say anything, I'm saying there's only one country song.
Oh,
only one country song.
One is okay. I don't think I could do country though.
No. It's only Country Girl. Is that by Luke Bryan?
Oh,
it's the only country song. I swear. I don't even know why. I put it on and Country Girl, shake it for me. Yeah, that's about all I do. Yeah. But no, I'm a big time dancer too. So it's like, I love dancing in between sets. Like, even if I'm dying, I'm like, you know, but
Yeah.
I do anything from EDM, rock and roll, rap, of course.
Yeah.
Let's see, a lot of dance stuff, like EDM electric. Yeah. That one. Let's see. Yeah. Lately I've been on that kind of kick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just depends on how I'm feeling.
Yeah. Okay. I have another question. Why a mullet?
I'll be honest, just to piss my parents off.
Really?
Yeah. So like, whenever I first got it, they legit said, "Don't ever get a mullet. Don't ever get a mullet." And then I was like, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a mullet.
Yeah.
So mullet, and then next thing you know, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna roll with it. Mullet and muscle. So like, I literally brand myself off my mullet now. So I can't get rid of it now.
How long have you had it?
Well, it's 2.5 years. Yeah, 3 years almost.
You still had it?
No,
you
it
were,
was,
you still had it.
2021. Yeah, it was crunch.
Yeah.
I wanted it during my wedding, but my wife wouldn't let me. So it was after I got married. I want to say the end of 2020. Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and you don't think you'll ever?
Eventually. You know, I mean, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I can't see you without the mullet now.
See, that's what everybody says.
Yeah.
I don't know. I used to have really, really long hair down to my belly button. That's how long it was. Wow. Yeah. So I've always had longer hair.
Yeah.
Except for, well, no, even in high school, I had the Justin Bieber little hair flip. You know? Yeah.
Get
That's
you a
what it was.
guitar.
Yeah, exactly. No, I had long hair, and then it went from that to short hair whenever I got married, and then I was like, you know what, I want to grow it back out. So that's whenever I started the mullet. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mom and Dad, what have you done?
I love it. Too bad, Mom. Too bad, Dad.
Oh, okay. So is there anything else you would like to add to your front part of your story?
I mean, I don't know. Other than, you know, I love the gym ever since getting into it. I think the very first time I realized like I wanted to work out was actually like in 7th or 8th grade. You know, like 7th, 8th grade. 6th grade, I was a chunky little boy. I was chunky, you know, and I didn't realize like I wanted to work out or anything. I knew I wanted to do stuff, but I would always throw the football with my oldest brother. You know, we were always outside. We were always doing something. I would always ride my bike, you know, and I'm saying I would ride. I'm saying I went from Seguin to New Braunfels, which is about 30 miles or so, and I would go there and back on a bicycle with my friends in the middle of the night. We were like, hey, I'm bored. You want to go ride a bike? Like, oh, yeah. So that's what we would do. And so it was always physical activity. I've always been a physical like activity kind of guy, especially outside in nature. I love it. So, I mean, I've always just loved working out and being physical. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah. All right, you guys, we are going to hop over to Deck of Cards, but before we get there, we have to hear a word from our sponsors. Giving a special shout out to our sponsor, Maximus Nutrition. If you are looking to boost your workout, whether that be, you know, toning up or adding in that bulk, they can help you out with all the shakes, all the creatine, and all the protein, and so much more. You can find them over on Sunset Drive and Knickerbocker. Be sure to hit them up. All right, you guys, we are going to hop into Deck of Cards segment. This one is sponsored by Training from the Ground Up and Crusaders Forge. Blue card.
Ooh. What is your greatest fear in this current time?
I would say my greatest fear right now is I am juggling a lot of hats. And so I'm going from teaching high rocks to podcast and still teaching ride on top of like my own training, on top of mom life, wife life, trying to stay connected with people that are helping me grow. And I don't know, I think my greatest fear is like letting one of those drop right now when there's like, they're all good things.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Greatest fear in this current time. Honestly, the greatest fear is probably like just losing my significant other, honestly. Like without her, I really don't know what I would do. That's just in general, but like during this time, yeah. That's about it.
Yeah. That's a good one. Do you actively work out your core?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
What do you do for core?
Well, a majority of my workouts consist of kettlebell training. So doing kettlebell work, you're doing it. You know, you're using your core with every single movement. So that's one thing. And then I also do a lot of breathing techniques just in general, like anything from pressing and stuff like that. But also at night before going to bed, I focus on control everything, you know. So I usually use a lot with my diaphragm and just working on that and then stretching it out, coming down, stretching it out, coming down. But that's usually at night. And then literally every day I do ab exercises with my clients and stuff. I've been training my wife too. So it's like I do her ab exercises with her. So, you know, it kind of pushes them too, but it also helps me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love core. It is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I am doing core every single day.
Right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Walking around, squeeze the core. Yeah. Yeah.
Belly button to spine. Belly button to spine. That's the one thing I remember from walking class. It literally had a walking class at ASU. And it was a Jamaican track runner at ASU that she was like, you got to run with your belly button to spine. I was like, okay. Yeah. Oh my God, it works. Like it actually does help.
Yeah.
Belly button to spine.
Yeah. Remember that, you guys.
Yeah. Belly button to spine.
Green card.
What is an adventure you would like to have before you die?
I have answered this multiple times, and for this one, I would like to go to a Billie Eilish concert.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I play at least one of her songs every time and ride, and I'm teaching 3 times a week, so she has showed up
She's popping.
so many times, and just to like see her perform the songs that I teach you, be so good.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
What about you?
Go to Australia.
Oh.
Yeah, good old mate. Yeah, I'm telling you, if I were to go to Australia, I'd fit it right in. You know, they got the mullet, they got it all.
They're gonna think you're a kangaroo.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely Australia. Even though everything there can kill you, I'd still like it. Yeah. It'd be cool.
Why do you want to go?
I really don't know. Yeah, I think it's just like the adventure aspect of it. You know, there's anything and everything there. So they have beaches, they got sand, they got this, they got that. They got literally everything, you know? And then you just fit right in. I got a mullet, you know, tattoos. Everybody would be like, dude, that guy's here. Yeah. I love him, you know? So it'd be cool.
Yeah. I hope you get that adventure.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, by the end of the year, we're actually going to Spain. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're going to go see bullfights?
No, it's one of our friends. She's getting married in Malaga. So it's going to be more beachy, but it's also like artsy museum types and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be a good vacation. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
Take all the pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Next question. If you had to lose one of your 5 senses, which sense do you prefer to lose?
Taste. Yeah.
Why?
That way I could eat clean every single day and not get tired of the taste of it, even though I love like just mixing even like sugar-free stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, sometimes you could just get away with not tasting something that tastes like shit or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think it would be difficult because, you know, like we do become addicted to like flavor or whatever. Do you think it'd be difficult for you? Almost like a
for
detox.
Energy drinks, yeah. For energy drinks, yeah.
Yeah.
I do energy drinks sometimes just for the taste.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't need a caffeine boost or anything. I just like the taste of it. So that would probably be the hardest issue. Outside of that, I mean, ground beef every day, I could do that. You know, flavor, no flavor. Like I just love it.
It'd become a texture thing.
Yeah. From then it would just be texture.
Yeah. A texture addiction.
Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah.
I would take my smell away.
Smell?
Yeah.
Why?
They do say that like if you were to lose your smell, you would also lose like parts of your taste. But a part of me would hope that I would still be able to have like some form of like a flavor. That way food is still enjoyable. But I don't know. You don't have to smell the people at the gym. You don't have to smell when somebody like farts and walks away.
Yeah, crop dust.
Trash truck comes by. Like.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one works.
I wouldn't want to lose like my hearing or my eyesight because it'd be complete like change in life.
Yeah. Well, I'm already like partially deaf, you know, just from my music alone. I'm like, what? Yeah, so I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm going to lose that soon anyways.
When you get hearing aids, let me know and we'll like.
My mom, she actually just got hearing aids.
Oh, how old is your mom?
She's 55, 56.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's young, but she has hearing aids now because of music when she was younger.
They're making it a lot less like noticeable to have them now. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
All right. Pink card.
Pink one. What does the gym or fitness mean to you?
The gym for me is mostly mental. I have seen a significant difference in myself mentally from when I started back in 21 till now. Like, I don't even recognize that person mentally. Like, I was going to therapy and I was like, I wouldn't say I was like depressed, but like, it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then like over time and like the endorphin growth, and then you start to learn like discipline, and then you start learning like just like what consistency does. Like my mindset is completely different.
Yeah.
And so
Everything.
the gym means to me like my mental health and my sanity now. Like,
yeah. For sure.
What about you?
Everything.
Yeah.
Like literally. Yeah. Gym and fitness. I mean, financially, obviously, it revolves around the gym. Fitness wise, like being healthy, but also showing like my goddaughters and stuff like that fitness is a part of your life, you know, my family, things like that as well. It helps me also grow other people too. So it's very rewarding for me. But yeah, it's everything, you know. Without the gym, I wouldn't have met my wife either, you know. Like she literally came up to me in the gym to say, hey, what's up, you know. I was like so without the gym I wouldn't have her, you know. So everything, gym literally is everything for me.
Your whole trajectory would have been different.
Yeah, I don't know where I would be.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
that's crazy. And it all started with boulders.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, my dad taught me how to lift rocks. Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
Okay, you are creating the ultimate sandwich. What goes on it?
Well, okay. Is this like a cheat snack, or is it more like, you know, these are real questions.
Like if like you personally had to pick the ultimate sandwich for you to eat, it could be clean, it could be unclean, it could be, let's hear it.
Bread, peanut butter, Nutella, strawberry jelly, grape jelly.
Oh, do you warm it up?
So gooey. No, not that one. Yeah. Too much of the, like, if the Nutella is like melted, then it's like too much of the chocolate versus too much of the peanut butter. But it's good.
Are we talking creamy peanut butter or crunchy?
Creamy. Always, yeah. Creamy. Crunchy. If I have a crunch in there, I'm like, is that my tooth? You know, like that's what it feels like. So I'm like, no, just keep it creamy. I love it.
If I'm doing a peanut butter sandwich, it's crunchy for me. Yeah.
Get out. No.
Did you just kick me off my own podcast?
Your own podcast. No, that's just so good.
Yeah.
What about you? Sandwich.
Ultimate sandwich for me right now. I would have to say, okay, bread, but like a fluffy bread.
Okay.
And then let's go ham.
Okay.
And then a little bit of barbecue sauce.
Okay.
Some like chopped up pineapples. And some jalapenos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, maybe some kind of like light cheese to like squish it all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be known for making sandwiches for my dad specifically. Yeah. Like I would make huge sandwiches. I'm saying cut up the pickles. I would make bread, put whatever sauce. He usually liked mayonnaise or something like that. I don't even know. He just likes anything. He's like, hey, son, make me a sandwich. I was like, I got you. I loved making sandwiches. I was a fat kid. I loved making sandwiches. But PB&Js have been my whole world. Like, I love PB&Js ever since being a kid at my papa and granny's.
Yeah.
You know? But the sandwich that I would make him is usually bread. See cheese on both sides. So cheese here. Turkey usually is what I would go for, turkey or chicken. And then I would put cut up pickles. Not like just regular pickles, dill pickles.
Oh.
Dill pickles. cut them up, put them on there, and then whatever sauce that he would want, like whether mayonnaise. I think mayonnaise. Weird.
Yeah.
But that, and then I'll just make it huge sandwich. It was so good.
I have not had one of these in a long time, but whenever I was a kid, my mom used to make peanut butter and butter sandwiches.
Ooh, yeah.
And so like it would be like the margarine butter out of the tub, and then it had to be cold.
Yeah.
But then like crunchy peanut butter, mixed with like the cold butter. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
now I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, so much
many
fat.
calories.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay. Your pool blue card.
Blue card. What is the one skill you believe is most important for your success in your field?
I am going to take the coaching field. I've answered this for the podcast. So I would say for the coaching field, it would be encouragement, being able to look at a handful of like different people and be able to throw words out there that is going to encourage them all to keep going. And I've worked a lot on that, and it's gotten to where sometimes I'm like, oh man, like I need to use this on myself. I would say encouragement is a great one for group fitness instructors.
Oh yeah. For group fitness, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Shoot, for me, the one skill I would say is, honestly, just communication. You know, communication is key when it comes to clientele, but also getting new clients and really anything and everything. Because if you say one thing that is different than what they're used to, they're like, they question it. And then you just got to be like, well, this is why. You know? I don't just say, no, it's just because I said so. You know, you got to explain why. Yeah. So communicating them why this is important, or this and this and this and that. And I think that is probably the most important skill that I have seen is most successful. That or my sick dance moves, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's another successful, trait.
I'm starting to think we should get you a disco ball and hang it.
I love dancing. I'm telling you. Yeah. Usually whenever my clients are dying, they're just like, help. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Come on, get up, let's go. You know, so that or my dance moves.
Yeah. Somebody might steal those dance moves. You better, trademark it.
Yeah, mullet and muscle.
Okay. If you had your own gym, what is your number one must-have?
Number one must-have in a gym?
Yeah.
Kettlebells. You can do anything and everything with them, you know? Anything and everything. Legs, upper, core, balance, stability, mobility, everything. You know, you can literally do anything and everything with kettlebell workouts.
How heavy would your heaviest kettlebell be?
I mean, I've lifted everything from obviously like a 5-pound to the heaviest I would go probably 200, 250 maybe. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a big,
That's
like,
a
they're
crazy
huge.
amount.
Yeah. They're literally bigger than my body.
That's your
it
boulders.
weighs more than me. Yeah. Literally with a handle.
Yeah.
so it's just a rock with a handle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that would probably be the heaviest is like 200. And that's just to say like, yeah, I can do it.
I can lift that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that. Now it's your turn.
Yeah.
You know, so I have some clients that are getting up there in the kettlebell training with me that they're strong. They're strong. But they went from not being able to do a kettlebell swing properly to now being able to do a lot of the same movements as me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just from doing it repetitive, this, that, the other, tweaking here, tweaking there. But I love kettlebells. Yeah. That's what I would say. Yeah. How about you?
I'm going to go with a DJ.
All right. Okay. All right. You got me there.
I know in like the bigger cities, it's got to be out there. There's gyms that like bring DJs in, but can you imagine like a house DJ where you could like, you could go up there and be like, hey, can I request this song? And they're able to like mix it in, and it would be so cool. And I feel like you could tailor a lot of like the gym vibes off of like almost like a bar, just about like you can feel like what the crowd is. And
dang, yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
All right. Green.
Best ice cream flavor and why?
Ooh, I am feeling Bluebell's ice cream, chocolate chip cookie dough.
Ooh.
Yeah.
When I ate ice cream, that was usually my go-to.
Yeah.
I think lately there's been, what was the other one? It's one of the other ones that have like the layered ones.
Oh, yeah.
Those ones are good.
Yeah.
Those ones are good. I can't even remember the name. That's why
Yeah.
I do not get ice cream, because once I start,
It's hard.
it's so hard to stop, because I'll eat the whole thing.
When's the last time you had ice cream?
All right, so my version of ice cream is a little different. I usually do sugar-free Cool Whip with peanut butter, so it's peanut butter ice cream.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I did that like last night.
Mm-hmm.
This is just
Yeah.
so good. So good. Peanut butter ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard
Sugar-free.
of the Ninja Creamies?
No.
So you can make like protein ice cream.
Oh.
I don't know rightly how it works. I know few people that have them, but you mix like what you want as like the flavor. So if you wanted like, I don't know, pineapple flavored, you could mix that with your protein, and then you've got pineapple ice cream and stuff like that. Yeah. I was actually like, I think I might save up for one.
Yeah. Right. I love ice cream too much. Like, I would put so much bad stuff in there.
Yeah.
That I love Reese's. So anything peanut butter and chocolate, or just peanut butter in general, I'll just put it in there.
Hey, might be a treat.
Yeah, for real.
All right. We have time for one more round. How have you grown in the last 6 months?
Whew. In the last 6 months, let's see. More specifically, I've been in therapy for a while now, but more so recently, I've been working on myself and trying to find hobbies and things like that. And I think in the past 6 months, that's been my biggest growth, was finding hobbies, like actually finding stuff that I enjoy to do outside of just the gym. Obviously I'm still not like to 100%, like I'm still trying to figure out, but that's been the most growth in the past 6 months, is just finding out hobbies and like what I like to do and what I enjoy doing outside the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of probably inward reflection.
Yes, a lot. Yeah, between that and then writing shit down.
Yeah.
Like, you got to write stuff down.
Do you journal?
I do. Yeah. So I try to do it at least once a day. If not, then it's like every other day. But I try to write stuff down, whether it's on my phone. I try to physically write stuff down. That way it goes from here to paper.
Yeah.
And that has been huge too. That you could write letters to people that you have, been affected by, or whatever it may be, like you could do that. And that's been huge too. But yeah, I would say that. Yeah. What about you?
6 months ago, I was not in production for this podcast. I didn't even know what High Rocks was, to be honest. And I was just teaching ride. I was just doing my workouts. Life was chilling.
Yeah, straight chilling.
Yeah. And if you would have told me back in September that I was going to be juggling everything like that I'm juggling this week alone, I would have been like, you're crazy. But I've been able to so I started teaching High Rocks this week. On top of the podcast, we've got 2 podcast episodes recording this week at 2 different times.
Nice.
So I'm teaching at Peak Monday, Wednesday, Friday, teaching at Crunch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And then so like Sunday's the only rest type day. Mom life, house chores, juggling it all. I think mentally, like, I'm not stressing like I would have been 6 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, okay, like this is the life. We're moving forward and we're growing, and
absolutely.
being able to just like hold it and be okay with like how busy we are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Am I going to be like in a month from now, like, I need a break, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. You never know.
You never know.
You never know till it comes.
Yeah. Pink.
Pink. Is there anyone in the fitness community you look up to, and why?
I, as like a whole I look up to just a bunch of different people in the fitness community. I've gotten to talk to a lot of different people, and I've learned and been able to take things from a bunch of different. However, I don't know if anybody will know who she is, but Sarah Sigmund's daughter. She is a CrossFit athlete, and I have been watching a lot of her documentaries and her YouTube channel just because it's impressive what she's able to do.
Fit.
Yeah. I'm like, let me look like her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I want to be like. I want to be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. So. Heck yeah. Shoot. For me, I would say right now, more than anybody, is Keanu Ray Soto, right? He was actually, I hired him as my kettlebell coach to teach me how to teach other people how to kettlebell train.
Yeah.
And it has been life-changing since having him in my life. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I would say Keanu. Like, he's a great guy. I actually, for my birthday, my wife got me hooked up with him in Dallas, where we could actually have a training session with him. And it was me and a buddy that we trained on a Saturday called Savage Saturdays. And legit, it was one of the best experiences ever. And then afterwards, he's such a chill guy. Like, he literally is like, hey, we're going to go eat lunch after this. Come on. I was like, all right. Yeah, I'm just looking up to my idol here.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, we're eating and stuff, and he paid for it and everything. And I'm like, dude, you didn't have to do that. He's like, I know I didn't have to. I wanted to.
Yeah.
But he's just such a down-to-earth guy, but then he's also so intelligent and strong. He's strong. So I was like, that guy, that's the guy I want to be like, But I would say he is by far right now the one that I look up to more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Last card. Freeze. Rock, paper, scissors ×3.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh. Last one. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh. Hey, winners all around.
Gang.
We're going to hop into a segment I call 4 Questions, where I'm going to ask you 4 questions that I ask every single guest. My first one is, what is your biggest struggle right now?
Biggest struggle right now for me would be my diet. It's something that's going to be challenging in general for everyone. Some people, they just wake up and eat the same thing every day, but I have a wife that likes specific flavor, taste, things like that. So I'm like, you know what? I want to be able to do relaxed dieting with my wife. And both of us enjoy steaks. I love cooking steaks. So I do the steak every night kind of thing. But outside of that, there's not really like I hit this, and this, other than my protein, of course. Carbs, I'm relaxed on. And then fats, I just try to eat lower fat. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I would say diet more than anything. But this is a year that I told myself at the beginning of the year, look, you have to tone in on your diet more than anything, because not only is it going to help me, it's going to help everyone around me and my clients as well, even more. So I would say diet.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. Yeah, it's a work in progress. Yeah.
Okay, so what is something you have done that you are proud of?
I'm going to shout out 2 clients right now.
Okay.
So one is my very first client, Trevor Johnson. He came to me looking for help with his hip. He had a full hip replacement. Went from having a full hip replacement with no mobility whatsoever ever to being able to do things that he never would have realized. You know what I mean? So that would be number one. I'm extremely proud of him more than anything. And then the second is Olivia. Her name's Liv. Or I just call her Liv. But she's one of my hardest working clients, I would say. And when I say hardest working, inside and outside the gym. She has lost a total of 73 pounds in the entire time of being with me. And she's been training with me since January 4th of 2024, right? So it's a little over a year. She's lost that much weight, but now this year we're in a recomp, so we're trying to build muscle. And ever since seeing her go from losing the weight and actually feeling more confident within herself, and you can see that in her face every single time that she comes in. Granted, she works overnight at Ethicon. She's a little tired, but she comes in, she busts her ass, and then she leaves with a smile on her face. You know what I mean? So those two would be probably my most proudest that I've ever been.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those two.
Good coach.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so if you could give honorable mention to anybody, who would you give honorable mention to and why?
Keanu, Keanu. Without his help, I wouldn't be where I am today. And even with dieting and stuff like that as well, he's like, look, you don't know where you're at until you find out what you're doing today. You don't know where you're headed until you find out what you're doing today. So when it comes to diet, when it comes to working out, when it comes to teaching other people about diet, when it comes to teaching other people about just training in general, he has been the most influential. He's definitely been the one that has helped me the most when it comes to a lot of the stuff. Yeah.
Good job. Great words too.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my last question for you. If you could give advice to anybody listening, whether it be life or fitness, what would you say?
See, this is the question I had struggles with. I was like, oh, man, keep going, and I mean that in the most sincere way possible. Just keep going. It could be anything from mental to physical. It could be anything from diet to just waking up, As soon as you get up, you just keep moving. So just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Is there anything else you would like to add to your episode?
Shout out True Front Bros. shout out my wife, Love. Mullet and Muscles, that's my Instagram. And then, of course, I train with Casey Tribbett or Casey Helms. Casey. I train with her over at Fit and Sassy. My clients are the fit ones. I'm the sassy one. Outside of that, I know there's a lot of people that are out there that do watch your stuff. And I just want to say thank you more than anything. A lot of people come up to me and it's like, hey, when are you going to get on? When do you get on? It's like, hey, when my schedule allows me, but she asked me and here I am.
Yeah.
So thank you for this.
Yes, absolutely. Just trying to make a difference in the community. There's so many good stories and good humans out there. So thank you for being a part of it too.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you.
All right, you guys, that concludes this episode. Now, I am giving you guys homework. I give it all the time. Go subscribe to our YouTube and Spotify. It helps us so much, and it helps you stay in the know of which guests are coming out. You can also follow us on Instagram, and we are slowly getting our TikTok back. So whatever you do today, make sure you do it great and hop over to see our sponsors, Maximus Nutrition, Training from the Ground Up, and Crusaders Forge. Have a beautiful day, friends. Bye. Hey, you guys, we wanted to give one last shout out to Maximus Nutrition for helping make this podcast possible. Go hit them up for one of their delicious shakes. My favorite is coconut cream pie. They can hook you up with all of your protein needs too. You can find them on Sunset Drive and Knickerbocker. Go crush the day, you guys.